Key says, my company offers deferred compensation to reduce my taxable income. The funds are held in a Fidelity brokerage account with full control, but limited investment options. I did this a couple years ago and I invested all the funds in FXAIX and VVIAX to track the total performance of the S&P 500. It's open enrollment time again, but I'm having second thoughts about doing this. Just wanted to find out if others in the Rich Habits Network are doing this or if they've ever considered this option before. What a great question, Key. And again, thanks so much for being a part of the Rich Habits Network. So you might be asking yourself, well, one, what the heck is a deferred compensation plan? And then two, is it something that I should be thinking about? So a deferred compensation plan is normally part of an employee's regular compensation that is set aside to be paid out at a later date, usually at retirement. Now you can think of a deferred compensation plan kind of like a 401k. There are qualified and non-qualified deferred compensation plans. Qualified deferred compensation plans are available to tons of employees, including Robert, myself, and Key, which are those 401k plans, 403bs, and things like that. That is governed by the federal government about how much you can put inside of them, and they are a really cool way to invest toward retirement. Non-qualified deferred compensation plans mainly cater to the high income earners, like the executives that are making tens of millions of dollars a year. Now, Key, it sounds like you have a qualified deferred compensation plan. Your company says, hey, you can put your compensation into this Fidelity brokerage account. You can invest it into the S&P 500 to grow over time, allowing you to bring down your taxable income in the year that this money is received. So I think it's a great idea, assuming you have full autonomy over it, like you mentioned that you do, and that you are not just relying on that as a way to retire. You're also doing the Roth IRA, right? You're also building the bridge account. You're also building the base and doing everything that Robert and I talk about. Deferred compensation plans are pretty interesting, especially if you are one of those high earners and you're making tens of millions a year. I mean, that is how we get into some interesting tax loopholes as it relates to compensation. But in this situation, Key, seems like you're setting yourself up for success, and 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah, on my side of this, I would say you have to look at it from this perspective. If you're not one of those people making millions of dollars a year and you have limited investment options in this deferred comp plan, you might want to consider, like you already are, not adding additional money to it and maybe going another route. Because again, then you'll have full autonomy, more options, more diversity, and probably a higher return year over year. So it really depends on your situation because, again, you do have the ability with a deferred comp plan to reduce your taxable income now, but the tax is going to come out somewhere, somehow down the road. So just keep that in mind when doing this consideration, is that you might want to do exactly what you're thinking of, and that is not re-upping during this open enrollment and moving the money elsewhere where you have more control, maybe into the Roth IRA or whatever it may be, to give you a better situation for down the road as you build your wealth.
I think it makes a ton of sense, Robert. It really goes back to this idea, how we always talk about personal finance is personal. I mean, you have to be not just in control of your money, but know where you're going, right? We always talk about people that don't have a plan and just drift through life financially. Those are the people who end up being 54 years old with no money in retirement and 140,000 of student loans. And, maybe they haven't even bought a house yet, right? Key, you're obviously not like that. You're asking the right questions. You're part of the Rich Habits Network, so you're surrounding yourself with other like-minded individuals. It just comes down to maybe there's a world where you could retire early, leveraging a bridge account. Maybe there's a world where you do want to put more into this deferred compensation plan if it's underfunded in your opinion. There's a ton of things to consider here, but I hope my answer and Robert's answer can help you navigate this question.